In a quiet village where the roads were dusty and dreams often faded before they could take flight, there was a teacher named Mr. Arian. He wasn't the kind of teacher who just taught from books. He taught from his soul. Every child in the village loved him, but there was one student who never spoke a word. Rohan. He sat at the back of the classroom, his eyes hollow, his heart heavy. Rohan had lost everything. His parents had died in an accident, and he now lived with an uncle who barely acknowledged his existence. Each night, he slept on a cold floor, his stomach empty, his heart even emptier. The world had turned its back on him. One day, Mr. Arian noticed Rohan sitting alone under a tree after school, drawing in the dirt with a stick. He watched closely. What Rohan was drawing wasn't just shapes. It was a perfect sketch of a bird, trapped inside a cage, its wings spread as if longing for freedom. Mr. Arian knelt beside him. "That's beautiful." Rohan quickly erased it. "It doesn't matter. It's just dirt. Just like everything in my life." The words stabbed at Mr. Arian's heart. He gently took Rohan's hand and said, "Come with me." He led him to the classroom and handed him a blank canvas. "Paint your heart, Rohan. Don't think about the world. Just let it out." For the first time in years, Rohan felt something stir inside him. Hope. He spent nights painting in secret, pouring his pain, his loneliness, and his silent cries into colors. When the school held an exhibition, Mr. Arian insisted Rohan showcase his painting, but Rohan hesitated. "What if they laugh?" Mr. Arian placed a hand on his shoulder. "What if they listen?" With a deep breath, Rohan agreed. On the day of the exhibition, as people walked around admiring the artwork, they suddenly stopped in front of Rohan's painting. It was a breathtaking image of a stormy sky. In the middle stood a boy holding a single candle. No matter how fierce the wind blew, the flame refused to go out. The hall fell silent. And then the village head, an esteemed artist, spoke. "This is not just a painting. This is a soul speaking." His voice trembled. "Who created this?" Slowly, Rohan raised his hand. That moment changed everything. The world finally saw him. That night, he was offered a scholarship to the best art school in the country. But before he left, he ran to Mr. Arian, hugged him tightly, and whispered through his tears, "You didn't just teach me how to paint, sir. You taught me that I'm not just a boy in a storm. I am the light that refuses to go out." Years later, Rohan became a world-renowned artist, and in his grand studio, right next to his most celebrated paintings, there was a small, simple portrait of a teacher with kind eyes. Underneath it, a single line was written. "Some teachers don't just teach, they save lives." A teacher's influence is like a candle. It may seem small, but in the darkest moments, it can light the way for a lost soul.